Andries and the management team see some challenges in the organisation. We are reactive and waiting. It's hard to get changes through. We aren't moving in the right direction, and there's a lack of business plans. So what do we do? Well, management put together a team to look into leadership at Scania IT. To be a member of this team, you had to answer questions about what a future leader is. After looking at all the applications, management picked the most diverse team they could find. Jan Andries called for a startup meeting and was very clear.
I want a delivery and don't get stuck.
We started brainstorming. We started by looking into what we already have in terms of leadership material like the Scania House, leadership principles and other methods we have at Scania. We found them to be aligned with our targets and objectives. So instead, we need to focus on behaviour. To understand our behaviour, we looked into the organisation today. We theorised that team members weren't involved in decision making. If you aren't part of the decision, how committed will you be? But at the same time, we thought that if we asked the managers what they would say that team members are involved in the decisions. So how do we validate our theory? We did a survey. We simply asked some managers whether they thought their team had the possibility of affecting important decisions. 100% said yes. Then we asked the respective teams the same question. What do you think the answer will be? 100% yes? Are we on the wrong track? Surprise! 40% said no, 36% said yes, and 24% said it depends. The conclusion is that the managers think we are one big happy family working towards a common goal. And some of the team members agree. But some also think they are zombie lemmings heading towards an early grave. We strongly believe that it's important that a team can affect their own future and be part of decision making. Because if you are part of decision making, you will also be committed to seeing it through. But as long as it's only the manager pointing the direction, we will never be proactive and work as a team. Jan Andries was concerned that we are not a proactive organisation. So we started to think, what are the components of proactivity? There are two important factors that are required to be proactive: understanding the business and daring. Starting with the business. In order to be proactive, it is necessary for everyone to understand the business, and that the team as a whole must lead the way. To be daring, it is important to be fearless, and also to have mandate. To achieve this, you need to evolve a culture that supports mistakes. Having mandate gives you and your team a voice, but also makes you accountable. This is servant leadership. Leadership can be categorized into two main streams: bossy leadership and servant leadership. Servant leadership is a leadership philosophy with focus on empowering the team first and mentoring them to continuously improve themselves and perform as effectively as possible, so that they can become self-organized and self-managing. Instead of knowing the answer, we ask the team. Instead of directing the team, we coach the team to be self-organized. Instead of saying I, the servant leader says we. Instead of blaming, we fix. Instead of using, we develop. Instead of taking credit, we give credit. Instead of saying go, we say let's go. In our organisation today, we do not have enough time to practice servant leadership.
We need more servant leadership.
Is it hard for us to be servant leaders? Our common foundation holds leadership principles, core values and principles, and the Scania House. This foundation would serve us better by having a common view that gives us a solid foundation that we can build upon, with better education. We have the base, but do we have a common view of these principles? The signals, or lack of them from the management team, makes us prioritise meetings, follow-ups, emails, firefighting, budgets, and other things, and not the soft skills needed by a servant leader. We do not have the time to focus and develop our business plan and long-term strategy. So here we see that it is hard to be a servant leader. How do we balance the scale? We need to do less of meetings, follow-ups, emails, firefighting, budgets, and other things to make time for more one-on-ones, coaching, competence development, and involvement of people in the organisation to create more time to focus on servant leadership and develop the business plans. Here it is vital that the top management sends the right signals, what we should do more and less of. Together, we need to have a common view of what is important and what to prioritise. What are we aiming for? To empower teams to become more involved, thereby increasing business value. Behavioural changes start with you, me, all of us, and it takes time. What is the first tick? We need to make more time by involving the employees more and challenge the value of our daily activities on what to remove or reduce. For example, you could question the business value you add by attending a certain meeting or performing a task. With this free time, we can work on setting the direction and work on the business plans. Then, by having our employees aligned to these plans, we can coach them to higher levels of maturity. With more mature employees, we can further challenge our business value and plans by continuous improvement. This is why servant leadership is so important. Let's take a quick recap of our journey so far. We've had workshops, conducted surveys, interviewed leaders during the time that led to this presentation here today. We propose to develop the leadership balance through the concept of servant leadership within our organisation. It starts now. We would continuously work with the feedback we get from the different management meetings, some already planned, and other forums where this is presented in the future. We suggest the creation of a leadership forum with your participation and that of external references to inspire our leaders and develop a common view of what servant leadership is and how to promote it within Scania IT. We volunteer to help drive this network to find external and internal inspirations and promoting the discussion within our existing forums. This is a self-learning process where all steps build up to a stronger concept of servant leadership, and we must continuously evaluate the results to see if we are heading in the right direction. But this will take a lot of effort, and it is vital that all of you send the right signals in your daily work life. This way the message will go through the whole organisation, and our teams will have the possibility to add even more value and be closer to our customers in a proactive and driven manner. The implementation of a servant leader's skill will make us all a big happy family with a dancing CEO that leads the way. But we all need to join the party.